Hey everyone, it's Dr. Nastel. Um, this week we're going to be reading, annotating, summarizing, and analyzing two different scholarly sources. So this little video is going to talk about how to approach reading that material. I have tried to do this video a number of times and my kid keeps interrupting, so we'll see how this one goes. So to get to the materials, click on week 3. I personally like to just click on the week and then scroll down so I can access all of the information. But you can also click on it in the content toolbar. So you're going to choose two readings, one for Thursday, one for Wednesday. Remember, Wednesday is our due date next week, November 4th, because November 3rd is the Election Day holiday. So you're going to choose two. What I would do is scroll through the list, see which titles stand out to you and seem interesting, and then click on them and start to skim them. The last two are entire books that are available online, so you can choose 1 or 2 chapters from those. And everything else are scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles. What makes something scholarly and peer-reviewed is that it is written by a scholar, someone, a faculty member typically, or administrator in higher education, or a staff member. And the peer-reviewed part is very similar to what we will do in our class. The process is that a scholar submits a manuscript to be reviewed by a journal. They submit it to try to get it published. The editors review it. If they think that the material is appropriate for their journal, then they will send it to two or more other scholars in the field. And those reviewers will make sure that the manuscript is accurate, is well written, is timely, that it includes appropriate sources, both that are current and as well as foundational. So they'll offer all different kinds of feedback. Sometimes they will even offer edits on grammar, usage, and mechanics. They will write back to the authors about the structure, the organization, kind of everything. So once the editors get those reviews back from the from the peer reviewers, then the author has an opportunity to revise and resubmit it. Once they have revised it as many times as it takes to be as good as it can be and be ready to be published, then the editors will accept it and publish it. So it's a long process, and it ensures that the information, like I said, is accurate and timely, and is appropriate for the audience. So all of these, from Edenfield to Stanton, are scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles. And then, like I said, the other two are books that have chapters written by different scholars in the field. It's a bit of a different process. These are not books are not necessarily peer-reviewed, but they are scholarly sources. These two do have editors who have worked with their authors throughout the whole process to ensure that the information, again, is timely and accurate and appropriate for the book. So you're going to choose two. Let's say you're interested in data visualization. So you can take a look here. What I would do to begin is to read the introduction. Personally, I'd read the background too, because I like to understand what has inspired the work. And then I would just kind of scroll around. This is a little bit of a different article. It is a web text, so it has some background information, it looks like, on this first page. There's a PDF. Let's see. Sometimes I just kind of click to see what they have. So here's some information about the projects that were in this course.
Mama.
Then we have the findings, so that's the results. Okay, so I always try to look at the introduction, the background, the conclusions first. I want to get a sense of, like we've been talking about, what the writer's purpose is. And scholarly texts are not always easy to read. It's different than reading fiction or, something that we might read in our spare time. And that in fiction reading or even like watching a movie, a lot of times we don't want to skip ahead because we like the pacing is part of the process. It helps us feel interested and connected to the material. But scholarly reading is different. We're trying to access information and to learn about something. So it's important for us to have a clear understanding of the author's message and ideas. One way to do that is to read the introduction and the conclusion. Then we can make sure we understand where did they start, where did they go. Once we have that idea, then we can go back and like look at the details. So we see their conclusions. Okay, there's different kinds of conclusions that they have found. There's videos. They have a gallery. So this is so cool, I think. And then their references. So if this data visualization web text turns out to be something that you want to learn more about, check out their references. See what kinds of information is presented in the titles of the sources that they list. And if you are curious about learning more, you can click on these sources to start doing your own research. So that's my process. So maybe I would choose that one. And then again, I like just kind of look to see what's interesting to me. Remediation, developmental education. Here's the abstract. Even though it's not labeled, I know it is the abstract because it looks like a summary. It's got these lines that separate it from the rest of the text. So you have to kind of look for the clues that help you understand what the material, what aspect of the material you're reading. And then I'm just scrolling. Okay, so section headers are in bold and centered. That gives me some clear information about what this text is about. This is written by different authors, and it looks like they're all writing at different points. Then we showed up for this class. Okay, so again, I'm going to scroll all the way to the end. They don't have traditional section headings here, so I guess our rebellion, that's kind of a cool way to conclude this, so I would check that out. The last thing I'll mention about reading the scholarly material is that it is so crucially important to take notes as you're reading. It will help you understand the material. It will help you remember it. It will make your future self very, very happy as you go back to these notes and pull them into your final research project. Again, there are resources for our class. So information on quotations, summaries, and paraphrases, effectively integrating sources with your ideas. There are writing resources, so help with polishing your writing. And academic reading resources, which I will add to. But for now, I think these active reading strategies in particular are really helpful. We can change the rate at which we read, slow down when things are heavy or really interesting or really important, speed up when maybe it's that background information you don't need. Connecting things, which we're doing this week in our analysis, using graphic organizers, especially if we retain more information, if we like visual things. So we can make maps of the material that we're reading. We can create grids. We can draw comics. Predicting and previewing what's going to happen next. All of these things are strategies that will help us retain the information better and understand it better. So please make sure to check out the resources that are listed in our D2L site. And that's it for now. Thanks.